Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So here we are working on, whoa, don't mind my pajamas, shopping mall again. So you guys haven't seen my progress in some time. I have finished everything down here up until this box. There is some more of this pattern release. Well, all of these boxes have been released at this point, but I really wanted to come up here and do some more work up here. So in the past couple of days, I have finished the word shopping. I did all 4 of these letters, and I did all of this brown up here. I did that. I finished the black coming up this way. So up until this line here, that is where my page ends. So I'm trying to complete everything up until that page so that I can get this page out of my pattern. So here I need to come down and do, well, everything up until this point. Actually, it doesn't look straight on camera, but it is. From the G up to this point is all straight. So I'm trying to get all that done. I was hoping that I'd be able to do that over the weekend, but I didn't. I did stitch quite a bit. I just didn't stitch as much as I wanted to stitch with family and everything else going on. So that little ramble out of the way, welcome back to my channel. Obviously we're doing a stitch with me today. If you're new here, my name is Amy. In case you didn't look at my channel name, this is a channel about crafting, all things crafting. I do crochet, I cross stitch, I diamond paint, and I do a little bit of sewing. Don't show much of the sewing on the channel, but I'm a doer of all things because I love to do all the things. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm just looking at my pattern to see what I can do. I think I'm just going to fill in this one color right here. So I know you guys are at a funky angle right now. Will I get the color that I need? I never get the color on my needle before I start. I don't know why. So I have a few minutes today to, is it 8:12 or 6:12? Am I seeing things? 6:12. I am definitely seeing things. So yeah, how is everybody doing today? I don't know what day it is. Let me see. Today is April 15th. My birthday is in 5 days on April 20th. So obviously we have no plans because of COVID, and what can we do? My husband's birthday is actually in 2 days on the 17th, and normally we do like a birthday anniversary, we kind of throw it all together and do celebrate it all at the same time. Sometimes we go at the beginning of April, sometimes we'll go at the end of April. It just depends. But normally we try to get out for some kind of trip together. But this year, that's just not possible. Normally, we start planning it around our anniversary, which is actually March 30th. But well, obviously, you know, things aren't happening right now, so we weren't able to do that. But you know what? It's okay. Honestly, I'm very much an introvert and like to stay home generally. I have never like been one of those people who goes out a whole bunch. You know, I didn't really go through that like party stage. I never went to, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, I've never been to a bar, because obviously I have. I feel like everybody has been to a bar at some point in your 20s, but I was never like you didn't see me out every week. I always kind of preferred to stay home doing things at home. And so, you know, my husband says, because my husband likes to do casinos and stuff, and there's a place that we like to go. What is hanging here? Is it these reds still? I need to move these. My husband likes to plan our trip and go to a place in Ruidoso, New Mexico, because it's relatively close and easy to get into, and it's a casino It's called an inn, but they have a casino there. They also have like boat rides. They have zip lining, obviously like meals and stuff like that. And so we try to go there, and you know, he says like, oh, you just you don't like to do those things, because he enjoys going to the casino and I don't. And he says it's because I never went through that like party stage that so many people go through when they're younger, where they like party all the time or have like crazy outings with friends and stuff. I just never had that. And I think it's because I've always had kids. I had my oldest when I was 18. And so, you know, I've always kind of been more on the mellow side, I guess, because of that. I don't know, because I know people who had kids when I had kids too, and they were still very much crazy into the party scene. There is a thread back here bothering the ish out of me. Oh, it's because I didn't cut it. So did I bring, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to try to keep it out of the way. Hopefully it'll stay there. Don't mind my mess. I finally had a whole bunch of packages and stuff. My trash was overflowing, so I had to take out my trash can, and of course it was all spilling everywhere, and I just haven't picked up like all of the little bits of receipts and everything from that. So now I had to fill in this underneath part, and I didn't want to carry right here because I feel like that's a waste of thread. So I did this underneath part, and then I'm going to come back up around doing one stitch going this way, and then I'm going to start coming up and down this way, and then I'll fill these in when I get to the bottom again of that part, because where I'm at right now, it actually ends, this color ends right there, so it's actually this next block up. Yeah, because now there's a little person hanging out right here in this section, so this is actually not going to be stitched at all. So that's going to be fun to skip through because it's going to bring me closer to finishing the pattern, or to finishing this part up here, because I really want to get this page finished. So once I finish this page of this section, I'm going to, I feel like you guys are in a different spot because I keep getting interrupted, you guys. It doesn't fail. So hopefully this is a good, why is my tripod crooked? Okay, hopefully this is good. Once I get this page finished, because this part here is part of the page, and it's going to be a bitch because it's kind of confetti, and then you have to go around. And not only that, but I've told you guys before how much I hate stitching in white. So there's a lot of white down here. So it's going to be really exciting to get this page finished done. My goal is to get this done today, because this is mostly one color up here, except for right here, there's a little bit of red, but other than that, it should be okay. So I'm gonna, once I get this page finished, I'm gonna come back down, and now my cat is here to interrupt. I'm gonna move the Q snap, and I'm gonna come back over here and probably do Freddy Krueger. I've been saving him because his block looks like so much fun to do. And then Witchy Stitcher has another release for this pattern called like the grand finale or something. So I'm very curious to see what that's gonna be. Only because I have plenty of room to add stuff to the sides and the top, but I don't have room to add stuff to the bottom. So I hope that her grand finale is not anything like where I have to add anything to the bottom. I don't think so, but you never know. So anyway, I have been slacking in videos compared to like 2 weeks ago. This last week I didn't have, or last week I should say, I didn't have very many videos go up. I think I had 1 or 2, mostly because I spent like 3 days doing homework and getting super ahead on work. not super ahead at this point. I'm a few days ahead because it was just so much work. I had so much stuff to do and I couldn't keep up. My kids, so my daughter's second grade teacher had her do, they have them doing 3 different websites, and I don't understand like why they have to do 3 different websites, and it's so hard to keep up. So one of the websites that they introduced is called Moby Max. I've never heard of it before. I don't know if it's specific to school structures or how it works, but every section in Moby has a placement test, and oh my god, it's like 50 freaking questions. And my daughter was starting to get really frustrated because it asks things that she doesn't know. And I told her, I said, honey, that's not the point. The point of the test is to see what you do know so that they can put you in the right section. And I was trying to explain that to her and she wasn't understanding it. And she was wanting me to help her. And I was telling her, honey, I can't help you because if I help you and you get all the answers right, it's going to think that you know more than you do. And so I told her, if you don't know it, just put 0 for all of your answers and the computer is going to know that you don't know how to do that. And I was explaining this to her teacher. I was like, look, we can't do this website. I don't have the time to monitor her doing that website. And she's like, no, the idea for second graders, because she's in second grade, is that they are self-sufficient and should be able to do the websites on their own. And I told her, I said, I understand that, but these placement tests are very time consuming and they're taking up a lot of her energy to do other work. You know, I was like, what is necessary? I said, what is she being graded on? What needs to be memorized and known? So finally she told me, and I was like, so look, I'm sorry, I'm just not trying to make it difficult, but I said, I just don't have the mental availability to monitor work for one child on 3 different websites. And so she's like, okay, this and this is what she absolutely needs to know and what is going to be taken into consideration when it comes to passing her to the next grade level or not. And right now they're not doing, basically elementary is the same thing. It's pass or fail. You know, it takes a lot to actually fail a grade level in elementary. And so that's, you know, that grading structure hasn't changed much, except that they're pretty much passing all students this year if they were at grade level or surpassing grade level at the point when the COVID situation started. And so, like, that's great, but at the same time, it's like we have to maintain the academic level that they were being taught at, because they can't just take 4 months off of school and be expected to bump up to the next grade level and miss 2 months of school and not be adequately prepared for the next grade. And so that's kind of like my concern. My concern is not her passing the grade, because I know that they're gonna pass, but more making sure that she doesn't get behind for the next grade. I don't know. Are you guys struggling with your children's work and making sure that they're doing it and checking on it and everything? And I told my husband, like, I just don't have the time to do this. And he's like, you technically do, because you do take a part of your day to cross stitch. And I told him, I said, that's not the point. It's like, that's my getaway. I need that 30 minutes or an hour a day to decompress and to keep my mental state at a functioning normal level and not crazy, you know, for my sanity. And he like doesn't get it. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm telling you, my husband and I have just really been having it out lately with the added stress of all this stuff. He has been going out every single day getting car work done, and helping his dad because his dad needs a lot of help, and all these things. And I was like, you know what, then why don't you come home, stay freaking home for once, and help me get the kids' homework done, make sure that all of their homework is done, make sure my homework is done, get dinner on the table, make sure that they're fed, lunch, because we don't do big breakfasts normally unless it's the weekend when everybody's home. But if my husband's not here, we typically don't go all out with breakfast because the kids really aren't big on like eggs and sausage and ham. Like, they love bacon and toast and stuff, but they're not really big on eggs and stuff. So he was like, oh, I'll help you more or whatever. But I think I'm just extra frustrated with the added stress of having to homeschool the kids. And I was really frustrated with how my daughter's teacher brought it forward. Like, oh, she should be self-navigating everything herself. And I told her, like, that's not the point. I was like, she's stressed out because of these placement tests, and it's stressing me out because she's thinking that she can't pass it. And it's like, they didn't educate them at all about how the website was going to work. They just said, here is the website we're going to be implementing, here is the login and the password for each student, blah blah. And like, they didn't go over any of the other stuff. I think my needle came undone, so it was frustrating for me as a parent to have to go through all of that. And then each section has a new each section has the stupid placement test. So trying to move it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Each section has a placement test, and there's probably like 20 sections that she can do, and she has to take a placement test for each new section. And so there's going to be more of those placement tests. She only did one, and then once she got through, she's just like, I'm over it. She didn't even want to have anything to do with the work after that at that point. And it was unnecessarily frustrating, I think, for everybody. And I feel bad for my child's teacher because I've been voicing my concerns to her probably more than any other parent. And I told her last night, I said, look, I'm so sorry. I said, but this is way too much for me. I understand, like, you guys are under a lot of pressure too. I said, but you guys are handing out like this stuff thinking that like we don't already have commitments, like that we don't have other kids. And I told her, between this child's work, the 3 websites that we're monitoring for her, and the other 2 websites that I have to monitor for my other child, my younger child, and the Zoom meetings between those 2 kids, they have 2 Zoom meetings each a week. And then what else? Oh, and then my oldest son, of course. And then let's not forget my work. Anyway, I think I need to stop ranting. I feel like the last couple of WIP and chats have just been incredibly ranty, and I'm not trying to make them ranty, but that's just kind of the headspace right now when I'm like, I need to just take a step back, lay a couple stitches down, and kind of calm my brain. Then it's kind of hard to film when I get so many interruptions. So I was chatting with one of you, you know who you are, and we were talking about like talking on the phone. And I'm not a big phone talker. I don't particularly like to answer the phone, just because I don't like talking on the phone. Obviously I'll make phone calls, like business calls, if absolutely necessary, but I don't really like chatting. Honestly, I don't even, this strand, okay, I'm just gonna end that one there. I don't even talk to my mom on the phone, you guys. My mom sends text messages. I am completely okay with that. And my mom is very much like me. She doesn't like to talk on the phone either. She does like to video chat occasionally to see the kids and stuff, but for the most part, she doesn't like to talk on the phone either, and I'm okay with that. If my grandma could text, I would totally text my grandma too, because I just don't like talking on the phone. And then it's kind of hard to like come up with stuff to say, and then awkward silence, and I don't know. So we were talking about that and how we were both just like make it easier to get our words out in text form. I don't mean like necessarily text message, I mean like written form, in other words. And so I swear, like the messages that me and her have been exchanging, first of all, not only are they freaking hilarious, but we probably could have written a freaking giant ass novel at this point with all of the bullshit that we've discussed in our messages. What is going on here? What is this incredibly long? That's a different strand. Guys, I am on the struggle bus today, seriously. So I need to cut this, and then wait, that's not even the strand I was using. This is the strand I was using. Why is this here? Cutting that. These are just frustrating me, so I'm going to cut those, and this one I'm going to hide a little bit because I did not hide this one at all. So I'm going to bring this one down. I'm going to hold it down while I do the loop for this, and hopefully I catch it. I might not catch it, but you know what? It's going to be because we said, right? All right. Anyway, I swear, if you read our text messages, you probably could have written a freaking novel by now with all the bullshit that we talk about. It's so fun. I love getting to know you guys. Right now, the best method of communication is Instagram, and a lot of you guys have been reaching out, and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun getting to know you guys, and I'm pretty quick to answer on there. The only messages, what is going on here, that I don't get are the messages that go to the Mystical Diamond Art Facebook page. I don't know what is wrong with Facebook for business or the pages like messaging, but I don't get the notifications. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. They don't come up for me. I don't know if it's like a setting or what it is, but I never get the notification that there's a message there. It just says, like, I had to actually go and check on the messages in order to see them, and I don't know why. And so I'm deeply apologize if you guys send me a message through the Mystical Diamond Art Facebook page and I don't answer right away, but that's why. Did I miss a stitch? I feel like I missed a stitch right here. That's why, because I don't get them, and unless I physically log in. I mean, I'm already logged into Facebook as it is, but I have to go to the pages menu and then go to the inbox and see the messages that way. Otherwise, there's no notification. It's really weird. So anyway, let's see, what else should we chat about? Oh, you guys, I kitted up. By the time this video goes up, you'll have seen the updated Mania. What did I call that video? That video is actually going up today, and I think this video is going to go up tomorrow. What did I call that one? Making final Mania decisions or something like that. It should be the video before this one, but I think I've got like 20 kits, 20 things kitted at this point. Well, I had those 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You guys, I've got pretty close to 20 things kitted as Mania possibilities. And so now all I gotta do is take some time to do my wheel. Is this in the way? No. I gotta take some time to do my WIP wheel, or my Mania wheel, I guess, and see. Oh, I really like, this thread right here. I really like the tiny, I think I'm gonna have to get a magnet. You guys can't see, but does that have a back? No, that doesn't have a back either, does it? No. Oh well. Let me see. Okay, we should be fine. I really like the Tiny Decisions wheel that Michelle Bendy uses, but it's not available on Android. And so, or at least I couldn't find one available on Android. There was another one called something different. I can't remember what it was, but I just didn't like the functionality of it. So I'm using, I think it's called Spin the Wheel or something. I don't know. If I edit this, editing me will go back and put a screenshot of what that looks like. And I'm pretty sure it was free. So, but the only thing is that it doesn't have as many options. And I don't think it has the option to remove the options as you spin them. Like if you pull up an option, I don't think it removes it. I can't remember. I don't know. It didn't have like a lot of the extra features that the Tiny Decisions app had. But it is what it is. And then too, you have to put them in a certain order on the app, because if you don't, I feel like these stitches are puffier than the ones before. I don't know why. You have to put them in the order that you want them in. I was hoping that it would like randomize them if I put them all in, but it didn't. I put in like all of my new starts because I was testing it out before when I only had 7, and it put them all on one side. So I was like, what the hell? Because I was hoping that I could just do like put them in any random order. So no. So what I'm gonna have to do is I have to write down a list of all of my new starts that will be new starts, and then a list of all of my WIPs, and then I have to put them in, enter them into the app in the order that I want them in. So I want them to be every other one. So every other one is a new start and every other one is a WIP, except that I don't have as many WIPs as I do possible new starts, so that could potentially be a problem. I think, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. And if I don't get to work on any WIPs, then okay, maybe. I don't fucking know. So my goal, it has been to try to get this done before my birthday, which I realize is very ambitious of me. It might not happen. Seeing as to how it's today's date, the 15th. Yeah, seeing as to how today's the 15th, I don't know if I can get this done in 5 days. But on average, each of these little boxes takes me a couple of hours. Assuming that there's not a lot of confetti. Like this one took me a really long time, and so did this one. And I think this one, because I mashed up 2 different patterns, this one happened really quickly. This one was really quickly. I just didn't do it all. Like I would only work like 5 or 10 minutes. And this Jason one happened super fast too. And this one too. I worked up this one down here. You guys haven't even seen this one. And like really quick, like maybe an hour. So my goal is to hopefully get this done today. If I can get this done today, then tomorrow we'll be working on Freddy. And so I'm going to try to be monogamous the next 5 days and work only on this to get this out of the way, because I was hoping that before April was over that I'd be able to get this done and be able to start another mansion, because I have the Universal Monsters. I think I'm getting this red mixed in. No, I'm not. I have the Universal Monsters cell waiting for me, and I also have the Addams Family cell waiting for me. So I don't know. I might end up throwing one of those into Mania, because it honestly looks like I might not have a chance to start them. I was hoping that I could, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Thinking about it now, because I really want to also get a huge dent into my son's crochet project, because I haven't worked on it in about 2 weeks. So we'll see where today gets me, because right now it's 12. I have to figure out what's for dinner. I have to see if there's anything that needs to be cleaned up a bit, and then go from there. I haven't put the laundry away yet from a couple of days ago, so I gotta do that. That doesn't take me that long. I'm probably like the only person who doesn't mind doing laundry, and I typically try to put it away as I go. I at least hang everything that needs to be hung. I typically do right away, and then the rest of it I will just pile in the hamper until I'm done, like the whites and all of that stuff. So now I need to look at the pattern and see, because I think I finished. So I did that. Yep. Okay, so now I've got these two tiny stitches right here sticking out. No. There's one more row. Yeah, one more row. So this should be 2, and then this, can you guys see? Oh yeah. So this row is one more. This should end on the, yep, okay. We're right. Our count is right. Super happy about that. My count has been wrong in so many of these boxes, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'll talk about that when I do like I think this is honestly going to get its own I finished video. So, and then it's going to be, I don't know about you guys, but I really hate the terminology FFO, finally finished object. I don't know why. I just really dislike the way that it sounds. And I hate that it's called an object. I don't know why. Like, it just sounds so silly to me, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't like calling it that. And it took me forever to figure out what FFO meant. And I didn't know. I was just like, I figured FF had something to do with it being finished. So I assumed it was like finally finished. And I was like, what is the O? It took me a very long time. Eventually, I obviously figured it out. But somebody else came up with the term of it being finally fucking over. And that is, I think, better than to say fully finished object. So if I ever, like when I frame these or whatever, I will not be calling it an FFO, because I just don't like that. I don't like calling it a finished object. It just sounds so strange. But yes, this is definitely going to be a finally fucking over project once it's done. And my only thing is, you guys have so many things that need to be framed, and not stitching, because all of the stitching stuff that I finished is usually like in a hoop, like in my kids' room and stuff, or given away as gifts. But so this, I think what I'm gonna do is come down on the other one, and when I come back up, it's gonna come up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, diamond paintings. I've got a ton of diamond paintings. I need frames 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see if I can get all 11 of these stitches. Ton of diamond paintings that need frames. And at the time, I was going to the thrift store, and I kept forgetting to take measurements of the frames that I was going to need. And so I just have them all piled up, not framed. But I really liked Rachel Ray's finishing video of how she finished it, like in a stretched canvas. So 2, 4, 5. I'm thinking of kind of maybe doing that. I don't know. I thought that was a really neat, it looks really neat. My only concern is protecting the painting from dust. So I don't know if, what is it called when you put the stuff over it? If doing that, like Mod Podge or whatever. I mean, I know what Mod Podge is, and I have Mod Podge, but I mean, like, what is it called when you cover it? Coat it, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if that protects it from, like, I assume it would. Like, getting dust in between the drills, that's my concern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 2 more. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to do more than that, which is fine. So anyway, yeah, that'll be another video one day. The diamond paintings that I have finished, which actually isn't all that much. Well, what I still have, because I gave a lot of them away. So that's a thing, you know. So I don't have all of the ones that I've finished, because a lot of them were given as gifts to family members and stuff. So what is my cat? We had to take the doggy door out, and ever since then he has been like fighting to get outside because he can't go outside anymore, which sucks for him. But at the same time, I took it out. Did I even tell you guys the story about my cat? He got out, and the neighbor brought him home, She found him wandering the street. She's not even like my neighbor. She lives down the street, and took him to the shelter where they have a chip scanner, and they scanned his chip. Obviously came back to me. So the shelter called me and told me, yeah, somebody has your cat. Is it okay if I give them your number so that they can call you and have him returned to you? Because if we take him in, it's going to be a fee. So if you'd rather her just call you and you can meet up to pick him up, then, you know, that's better. And then also it goes against you. And I don't know, like, if you get so many, like, what is it called? Like, where you can only pick them up so many times before they, like, obviously you can't control this animal. You have to surrender him. I don't know if they do that. But anyway, they were nice enough to not turn him in and not leave him there. And she called me about 10 minutes later, and she's like, this is my street. I found him wandering around. He ran into somebody else's house, and she was the neighbor to that person, and saw him and asked them, like, oh, when did you get a cat? And they were like, we don't have a cat. And he just randomly ran inside. So yeah, I was really grateful that they called me back. They could have totally kept him because he's that kind of cat. He's very sweet, and he is like a dog. We call him my daughters have been calling him a cuppy, because he's a cat and a puppy at the same time, because he just does all kinds of crazy freaking things. So anyway, that's my cat story. All right, you guys, I finished 2 threads on this, and we are almost done with this little section, and hopefully I can finish this today so that we can move on. All right, that thread is about done. I'm plain thread chicken with it here. I like to end in a pin stitch, which is bringing it through existing stitches, like poking it through the Ada where it doesn't have a hole, and putting it in, and then you can't even see it from the top. You can't see shit at all anyway because you're blurry. There's my stitches. I still have to, these are only have 1 leg right here, so I still got to do those, but there it is, guys. That is the progress in this rambly ass stitch with me. So hopefully this will be done, and when you guys see this in this week's floss tube, I will be done, or damn near done. So all right, guys, that's it. I gotta go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.